Sheva Brachot, literally the 7 blessings, also known as birkot nissuin, the wedding blessings in Jewish law are blessings that are recited for a bride and her groom as part of nissuin. In Jewish marriages there are 2 stages, betrothal and establishing the full marriage. Historically there was a year between the 2 events, but in modern marriages, the 2 are combined as a single wedding ceremony. Though the Sheva Brachot are a stylistically harmonious whole, they are actually a mosaic of interwoven biblical words, phrases and ideas. It is not certain who composed the benedictions. The text is recorded in the Talmud, but its origin is probably several centuries earlier. Occasion: in the 7th century, it was traditional for the blessings to be said at the groom's house, and at the house where the bride had spent the night previous to the marriage. This is still a tradition among Jews in some parts of Asia, but in most regions the wedding blessings are now recited towards the end of the formal marriage ceremony, under the chuppah. These blessings are also recited as part of the week-long festivities celebrating the wedding. In most communities these festive meals occurred during the week after the wedding, but among the mountain Jews they occurred during the week before it. Under the chuppah the blessing over wine comes first. At the meal table it comes last, after the grace after meals. If both the bride and the groom were previously married, the post-wedding celebrations are limited to 3 days, not 7. In such a case, the blessings are recited only after the very first festive meal, which should take place right after the wedding. In Orthodox Judaism, the first 6 of the blessings are said only if a religiously valid quorum is present. On weekdays their recitation also requires the presence of at least one person who was not present for any previous Sheva Brachot of the couple. On Shabbat there is no need for a new guest, since the Shabbat itself is considered a new guest. New guests are referred to as new faces. Old Yemenite Jewish custom equals, the Old Yemenite Jewish custom regarding the Sheva Brachot is brought down in Rabbi Ahia Sali's responsa. The custom that was prevalent in Sena before the exile of Mosa was to say the Sheva Brachot for the bridegroom and bride on a Friday morning, following the couple's wedding the day before, even though she had not slept in the house of her newly wedded husband. In Yemenite custom, the bride was brought to her husband's house only on the following day of their wedding. On Friday they would pitch a large tent within a garden called al-Jozar, replete with pillows and cushions, and there, on the next day, they would repeat the 7 benedictions for the bridegroom and bride, followed by prayer inside the tent, before they were dismissed to eat of their 3rd Sabbath meal, at which time some accompanied the bridegroom to his own house to eat with him there. The significance of this practice, according to Maharatz, was that they made the 7 blessings even when not actually eating in that place, a practice which differs from today's custom. Performance: it is a common custom for these blessings to be pronounced by a Hazan or rabbi, if they presided over the marriage, or otherwise for pronunciation of the blessings to be divided among honored guests. Sometimes, the blessings are sung by the wedding guests en masse. The blessings are usually said over a cup of wine. If multiple people say the blessings, the cup is passed to the person pronouncing each blessing. In many traditions, when a person pronounces the blessing, they and/or the groom drinks from the cup either after each blessing, or just after all 7. The wording, the text for Sheva Brachot varies between Sephardic and Ashkenazic Jews, but may even vary from community to community. The standardized Ashkenazic is below, with an Egyptian Sephardic textual variant being inserted in parentheses. Transliteration: Barak atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam, borei pri ha'gefen. Translation: Blessed are you, Lord, our God, sovereign of the universe, who creates the fruit of the vine. Transliteration: Barak atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam she'egel bara lishvado. Translation: Blessed are you, Lord, our God, sovereign of the universe, who created everything for his glory. The phrase is connected to Talmudic incidents in which the sages said this phrase after failing in attempts to replace the people who baked the showbread and the people who compounded the incense in the days of the Temple of Jerusalem. It reflects both grace to accept what one cannot change and recognition that everyone has unique and irreplaceable talents as keys to a harmonious marriage. Transliteration: Barak atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam, user ha'adam. Translation: Blessed are you, Lord, our God, sovereign of the universe, who creates man. Transliteration: Barak atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher yozarei ha-adam bar euro unregistered trademark Zalmo, bar euro unregistered trademark Zlimdar euro unregistered trademark Mutav Nito, bar euro unregistered trademark Hitkin Loma Manu Binyan Adayad. Barak atah Adonai, Yozer ha-adam. Translation: Blessed are you, Lord, our God, sovereign of the universe, who creates man in your image, fashioning perpetuated life. Blessed are you, Lord, creator of man. Transliteration: Sos tasis var euro unregistered trademark Tegil ha-akera bar euro unregistered trademark Kibbutz Ben Hala euro unregistered trademark Toka bar euro unregistered trademark Simchor. Barak atah Adonai, ma euro unregistered trademark Samich Zion bar euro unregistered trademark Venha. Translation: May the barren one exult and be glad as her children are joyfully gathered to her. Blessed are you, Lord, who gladden Zion with her children. Transliteration: Semach Tasame Triyim ha-yuvim ka euro unregistered trademark Semich ya euro unregistered trademark Zercha bar euro unregistered trademark Gan Eden Mikdam. Barak atah Adonai, ma euro unregistered trademark Semach Chatan var euro unregistered trademark Chala. Translation: Grant perfect joy to these loving companions, as you did your creations in the Garden of Eden. Blessed are you, Lord, who grants the joy of groom and bride. Transliteration: Barak atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bara sazon var euro unregistered trademark Simcha Chatan var euro unregistered trademark Color, Gilarinaditsa var euro unregistered trademark Chedva, Ahiva var euro unregistered trademark Chava var euro unregistered trademark Shalom var euro unregistered trademark Wrote. Ma euro unregistered trademark Hero Adonai Eloheinu Yishama bar euro unregistered trademark Arihidov Hutzot ya euro unregistered trademark Rushalayim Kul Sazon var euro unregistered trademark Kul Simchor, Kul Chatan var euro unregistered trademark Kul Kala, Kul Mitzelot Chatanam Miachapatam Uanaram Mimishtna euro unregistered trademark Janatam. Barak atah Adonai, ma euro unregistered trademark Semach Chatanim Hey Kala. Translation: Blessed are you, Lord, our God, sovereign of the universe, who created joy and gladness, groom and bride, mirth, song, delight and rejoicing, love and harmony in peace and companionship. Soon, Lord our God, may there ever be heard in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem voices of joy and gladness, voices of groom and bride, the jubilant voices of those joined in marriage under the bridal canopy, the voices of young people feasting and singing. Blessed are you, Lord, who causes the groom to rejoice with his bride. See also, Jewish view of marriage, list of Jewish prayers and blessings. References. External links: Why Get Married, A Lesson in 7 Blessings by Moe Navan, Sheva Brachot Guide, Sheva Brachot 7 Days of Music and Celebrations, Sheva Brachot, Laws and Customs, Cantorial Performance of the Brachot.